Are you getting real estate leads that aren't ready to do business with you right now and you're not sure what to do with them? I'm going to give you an easy system for nurturing those leads and converting them over time. Spending money to generate leads that aren't ready to do business with you right now can be really frustrating if you don't have the systems in place to nurture those folks over time and convert them in the long term. So in this episode, I'm going to give you a step-by-step walkthrough on how to set up good automated email sequences. Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do when setting up a drip email campaign is obviously you're going to want to have a landing page, and you're going to want to make sure that those leads that are coming into your landing page, they're getting funneled correctly into a email list. So I'm using Lead Sites here, and we have this app called Paths, and so we've set up a path here that any of these new sellers will go into we'll be using MailChimp for this example today. And then we've set up a squeeze page here and defined the path that any leads that come into this squeeze page will then go into our seller drip sequence. They can download the guide, and then their email, their information will go straight over to our MailChimp where they will receive an automated campaign, and I'm going to show you how to set that up next. Okay, so we're going to use MailChimp for this example of how to set this up, but any good email CRM type platform typically allows you to do automation type functions. You're going to see this up here, this automation, and the steps are going to be basically the same. The interface and that kind of thing is going to vary a little bit depending on what you're using, and you can just go to add automation. We'll come back to the one that I've set up there, and MailChimp is great. It gives you a lot of these different templates and that kind of thing. I like to go down here and just do a custom one. You can send that to whatever list you want to send those to, and it's just going to set you up there with an automation. So I've created one, so we're going to go back and take a look at that. So we'll go to automation, and you can see these sequences. So you could really have one for seller, you could have one for buyer. I recommend, though, if this is your first email automation pipeline that you've ever set up, just pick the one thing that is going to matter most to your business. It's going to have the biggest impact. It's the main focus. If you focus more on buyers, create a buyer sequence. If you focus more on sellers, create a seller sequence. But this is what it looks like. And you can see here that it gives you this trigger immediately after subscribers join your list. So that's anytime anyone signs up to the list and they get moved over here, they'll automatically go into the sequence and receive the emails in the order that we define. So we can see here that this first email, they're going to get this right away. This triggers immediately after subscribers join your list. They'll get a welcome email basically right away. So let's go in here and take a look at this. Now, talking a little more big picture, what most agents are comfortable with and what most agents do is just using the MLS drip system. There are new listings in your area. This just price changed, and those are good, especially if someone's a little bit closer to that ready to take action type phase of the pipeline. But the reality is that a lot of leads that you're going to get are months, are weeks or months out away from making a decision, and you want to plop them into a sequence that allows you to build trust over time, so that when they are ready to take action and they're ready to contact an agent, that you've already done the work of building the trust. You've already educated them. They know your name. They're comfortable with you. Maybe you've exchanged a few emails by the time that they make contact, and so you're naturally going to be the agent that they reach out to. So I recommend something to this effect where it's personal. So this says "whoops," which is kind of attention getting. Our subject line will say the same things. That's kind of attention getting and not expected for a first email from a real estate agent. But now we'll get into the actual copy, the words of the thing, and it'll make sense. That is the absolute last thing you want to say when going through the sale of your home. So would you do me a favor? Just reply to this email real quick and tell me what your number one concern is in selling your home. Using an open-ended question like this right off the bat, and it doesn't say, hey, let's set an appointment. You ready to sell now? And you're not jumping down their throat. You're being a servant, and you're offering help. You're offering advice. You're just kind of opening the lines of communication. Using something like this as an opening email works really great. Not everyone's going to respond, but you're going to notice a pretty good amount of people respond and say, I'm really worried that it's not going to sell fast, or I don't have a budget to stage, but I need it to sell fast, or they'll just kind of open up to you and tell you what their fears and concerns are. Let's go down through the copy a little bit more. I want to send you the best advice possible, and it really helps me know what kind of info will be most valuable to you. And then you say, thanks for signing up, blah, blah, blah. But this is 100% true. true. People will start sending you their concerns and their fears back, and that's great fodder for making videos, for making new blog posts. But what it really does is it just opens up the line of communication for you to start having a dialogue with these folks. And then possibly you might be able to convert some of these people that they thought they weren't quite ready to sell yet, and they were kind of putting their toe in the water. You might be able to convert these folks if you can get an honest, good, natural conversation going. Emails like this are a wonderful way to open the door. Okay, so we have a great opening email. What do we send them next? And this is where having a universe of content to offer to people really comes in handy. So blog posts, videos, PDF guides. If you're a Lead Sites user, we give you 2 blog posts a week. So here's the blog feed, and these are all just the blog posts that we provide to you 2 times a week. Basically what I've done here is I've just gone through the feed of all the blog posts that we give to every Lead Site user, and I went and I cherry picked out some of the seller ones, and I didn't even get all of them, but you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you do 1 email a week, that's 8 weeks of marketing that you can 100% automate to anybody who opts into your seller list. That is insanely powerful. So if you can set this up one time, it's not unrealistic to think that you could set up 25 of these emails that go to blog posts and videos. They get an email every week that's offering helpful advice, and it's building trust with you, so that over the course of, let's say it is 25, you have 25 weeks of marketing where you're building trust and giving these folks an opportunity to reach out to you when they're ready. So let's take a look at how to set that up. Okay, so we're just going to go back to our email sequence, and we can just add an email to this, and you can see that it just adds another little chunk below it, and we're going to edit that trigger. So let's say you wanted to do 1 a week, right? So now we can wait 7 days, and 7 days after the subscriber has sent the first email, they'll get this next email. It's pretty straightforward. As an example, we're going to use this 3 low-cost tips to increase your home's curb appeal. I'm going to show you how to craft an easy email, throw in a link, and build this sequence step by step. We can just go to design email, set our subject. If you want to keep it simple, you can just use basically the headline that so the 3 low-cost tips to increase your home's curb appeal. We can come over here and say, how to boost your home's curb appeal. And that is going to be an interesting clickable subject line to anyone who's thinking about selling their home. Next, if you want to get fancy with graphics and all that, that's fine. I personally recommend simple text. It looks like a personal email from a real person. This is my favorite way to go. Just keep it nice and simple, like an email that you would get from anybody else, from a friend, from a coworker, that kind of thing. You don't have to overthink this. We can just grab this headline and use that. And you don't have to be Ernest Hemingway or anything here. You can just say, if you're thinking of selling, one of the best ways to boost your home's perceived value is by increasing curb appeal. Not sure how to do that without spending a fortune on landscapers? I've got 3 easy tips for you. Read the 3 low-cost tips, and we're just using the exact same headline again. So I mean, that's nothing big, that's nothing fancy, but this email will get clicked, it will get people to your blog, and it will get people reading and establishing trust that you're giving them these helpful tips. If you're not sure how to put a link into an email, just go over here, highlight that, copy it, and then you can go over here, and most email editors have this little chain. You can hit link and insert. You'll see it turn blue. That means you're good to go. Sorry if this is basic. These are actually questions we get sometimes. So there you go, and you can see what the email will look like over here on this side. You might also wonder, right? Okay, that's great. Okay, so I send them content, but where's the ask? Just put a PS in every single email that you send. Something that is always there that allows them to take action if they choose, but it's not so invasive that it's pushy if they're not ready and they're still 3 to 6 months out on actually making a decision about selling. You also don't want to be in their face and cause them to unsubscribe. So one of the best ways to do that is with a good PS. So you could just do something as simple as, PS, ready to sell now? I can sell your home faster and for more. Let's talk. And then just as we did with the link to the blog post, you can just grab your contact page and just have that as a little link in your PS to your contact page where they can reach you, pick up the phone and call you, that kind of thing. If you put that PS in every single one of these emails that goes out and is offering value, I promise those will, at some point, those will get clicked by people who stay on that list and keep reading your blog content. That will get clicked, and they will go check you out, and they will start to explore for more information. So you can see here that our next email is ready to go. We have the nice welcome email, and now we have our first piece of valuable content and advice that we're sending to these folks. And just imagine if you had a chain of these that were, 10, 15, 20 emails long, that every seller that opted into this got this nice sequence of emails that builds trust and offers value. We could do the exact same thing just as we did there with the 3 factors that may impact the sale price of your home. What's it worth, questions about value boosting home characteristic, anything that would be relevant to a seller. You just go in, write simple emails, and link them to that content. And that's all there is to it. With a good welcome email, you'll be able to open the lines of communication and find out who those folks are that are ready to do business right now. And everybody else, you can leave them in your pipeline system, because that's business for tomorrow. Thanks for watching.